Hello again and welcome to another edition of Suds and Country. Hi, I'm Herb Suds and welcome to the show, my friends. I happen to have a very, very special guest. Her name is Sheerie Austin, Nashville recording artist. How you doing?
I'm good, Herb. How you doing?
Welcome to Suds and Country.
Well, thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Good to have you. Let's get down to business here with some music.
All righty.
How about your album, Love in the Real World? You wrote or co-wrote 11 of the 12 songs, and you said the songs come from a place every woman can relate to.
Did I say that? Let me check that. Yep, that sounds like
That's
something
a
I
direct
said.
quote.
Well, actually, I think a lot of the songs, well, I mean, women can relate to it, but I think it's about men as well. I don't think men and women are that different, even though we always try to paint them out to be that way. But a lot of the songs, I think, talk about issues between men and women, actually.
And you don't relate to the woman's side of it.
Oh, I absolutely relate.
Do. Sure.
Well, of course, I'm a
Of course you do.
chick. That's
Okay,
pretty
there you
obvious.
go.
But I think that men can relate to a lot of the songs
Okay.
on this record as well. I think that men might be a little shortchanged in that department.
Do you
when,
think?
Oh, I do.
In your albums, they're shortchanged, or just
No,
in
I
what
think
department?
that some people think that men may not be able to relate to certain things,
Oh,
but I know
oh.
my dad does.
Okay.
My mum makes sure that he does.
All the things in the album, it says, I've lived it all. I presume it's easier to write a song that you've lived.
No, that's not exactly true, because I don't think that you can always write about exactly what you've lived through. But I think when I write songs, it's I read a lot of books, and I write from what I know.
Oh, right.
I write from conversations I have with a friend, from maybe a movie I've seen or a book that I've read.
Sure.
Because if you wrote about exactly everything that you lived through, well, that would kind of be a little limited. So I think part of the job of being a writer is to kind of have an open mind and learn about people, because I think that's what you're writing about. You're writing about people.
Writing about people. A lot of people say, a lot of artists I've interviewed in the past said I have to live it to write it. So that's not true for you, then.
Well,
Okay.
I always read
You-
so many books, Herb, growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of stuff that I mean, I'm Australian, and I
Right.
came to the United States, and I've been singing country music since I was a little girl. But I'm not sure. I mean, if you had to write exactly about
Yeah.
everything that you've
Well,
lived through,
Not everything, you know. but-
you telling me that every single writer
No.
out there has lived through
No,
through
I-
some of the
them
stuff they
said
write
it.
about?
Some.
No.
George Strait hasn't never sang a song that he ever wrote. I read it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a little different, but writing takes a lot of inspiration and imagination, and that
Yeah.
doesn't mean you had to have literally lived
No,
through it. It
I-
means being a listener, I think.
That could be. How do you pick the songs for your album? The Goosebump test?
Yeah.
Yeah?
How did you know that? It's the goosebump test.
Is it effective?
Well, if I don't get goosebumps, I pretty much think the song...
You have to rewrite it?
I think there's something wrong with it if I don't feel something.
Yeah.
If I don't feel something from it, then I can't expect you to feel something from it.
I would imagine so.
Hmm.
Do you road test these songs? You go
I
out to-
do.
before you put them on an album, you take them out in front of the crowds?
I try to. Most of the time I try to test them out on like a real audience.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
I don't
road
mean
test.
like industry people.
No,
I
no, no, I
mean
mean-
like human beings, everyday people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Sure,
Yeah.
wherever you play, you try the new
Absolutely.
songs.
Yep.
The inspiration for Never Been Kissed comes from a New Jersey friend's wedding.
Yes, I was in New Jersey when I got that title.
Tell us about how you got that hook for that title, or
Well, I was at a wedding and I was thinking about the differences between men and women, and that title popped into my head, and I remember writing part of the melody on the plane trip back to Nashville with my co-writer, Will Rambo. I turned to him and said, "Hey, what do you think about this title, Never Been Kissed?" He was like, "Well, what do you mean, never been kissed?" I said, well, what if we wrote a song about, like, I've never been kissed like this was it, you were the one
Right.
and only. He went, that's pretty cool. So then we went back to Nashville. We got with our co-writer, Greg Barnhill, who was a fabulous writer, had a bunch of hits,
Right.
and we pretty much wrote that melody in an hour.
how did you come up with Never Been Kissed out of a wedding?
Well, because when the bride and the groom kissed,
Oh.
I was thinking, well, this has got to be
Okay.
one of the most amazing kisses you can ever have. There in
Right.
your white wedding gown and the groom
Yes.
all dressed up and
Yes.
100 people watching you. That's got to be a pretty spectacular moment. I've never been married, so I don't know, but
Neither
I was
have
using imagination. See, I
Imagination.
wasn't writing
About
from
what you lived.
experience.
Okay, there you go. That's pretty much a fairy tale, modern day spin on Grimm's fairy tale, that video?
The
Never Been
video,
Kissed?
yes. Well, the video wasn't my idea. That was Morgan Lawley's idea. She's an LA video director, and she's done a couple of
Where-
Nashville videos.
Where was it taped?
We did it in a studio.
In Nashville?
No, in LA.
Oh, in L.A.
An
Okay.
LA studio.
How long
Yep.
did it take to shoot that?
A day.
Let's talk about your first album called Words. Where did the title come from?
The title came from a song on the record called Words.
And does the words mean that you have to, many facets of life, such as love and getting by, and
I'm just checking out
Go
what you
ahead.
got written here
Yes,
on your list.
it's-
Here. Well, actually, Words was a song I wrote with my co-writer, producer, Will Rambo. We wrote that at 2 a.m. in the morning. We might have had a glass of wine or two, but I'm not sure. It was a title I had. All I had of this song was the first line, "Words, they don't mean nothing."
Okay.
And I had started playing
Fine.
a verse, the chords to the verse, and then I had a little bit of an idea for a melody for the chorus, and then I got with Will, and we finished writing the song. He helped me with all the lyrics. And
does the truth come out when you write a song? Or
well, I
does
hope
it-
so.
Or
I
does,
would-
it, or does it help to have a glass of wine behind it?
Not always.
Okay.
It's usually better to be sober when you write a song, but that was one of those songs that I think was in the air because I had written that about a past relationship that had gone wrong, and just about how the things that you can say can really
Sure.
wound. So that's where it came from, and they can also help you heal too.
Sure they can.
Yeah.
Words. Words.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Words can make you or destroy you.
Well, yeah.
How are your two albums different? Your two albums that we've talked about so far.
Well, I would say that the first album may have had a little bit more of a fairy tale, happy ending feel to it, in the sense that I think I was a little bit naive about what love may really be like. And the second album, I'm hoping, I was a couple of years older and a little bit wiser,
Right.
was a little bit more realistic. And I wasn't writing so much about love, but about life and what I had learned from it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know the answers to everything, but in my little world, in Sheerie's little world, I was trying to figure some stuff out, and Love in the Real World was me trying to figure some stuff out. I was very disappointed by the fairy tale, but then I came to realize that real life actually is a lot more interesting.
I'm sure it is. Fairy tales, not too interesting sometimes. How about you did more of a interest on the production side of this?
A little bit more
More
what?
on the production side of the second album.
Well, the second album, I think, might have in some ways been a little earthier, a little countryer. I wanted it to be much more acoustic. We had a lot of mandolin on it, and Dolly Parton is a very big influence on me, and I really love those Appalachian melodies and the instruments that she uses, and that's kind of where I got my start, was singing Dolly
Acoustic
Parton
guitars,
and Loretta Lynn.
mandolins,
Yeah.
fiddles, steel guitars.
Yeah, I just love it being broken down to just the song and it not being all about the production. So I didn't want it to be as slick as my first
Okay.
record. So that's what we were trying to do on the second record.
Countrified it?
I
Pretty
countrified
much.
it.
Pretty much. With steel guitar, fiddles, and mandolins.
Well, heck, there's a
That's-
fiddle on it.
there's a- you
And
know,
steel.
if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle
You
in
got
the
to have
band.
and I have played many a time in Texas.
With a fiddle in the band?
No, but they seem to be okay with the
With it-
steel.
They had a steel good substitute.
Well,
How
they didn't
about-
throw rotten tomatoes at me, so I guess we passed the test. I
Suppose-
like Texans.
Suppose we show one of the videos from your words.
Which one?
You tell me. So what'd that say? Pick one.
I get to pick one. Put your heart into it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I just think that's real country.
Where was that taped at?
We did that in Texas.
Did you? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take?
Fredericksburg.
Whose idea was it for the background of the Put Your Heart in? Where's the Hilltop Cafe?
Oh, that was the sweetest little cafe. I do believe that video might have been more my idea in the sense that I wanted to do something that was a little more country, that was
Right.
that was outside. And I've always said that Australia is like a big suburb of Texas. So I wanted to do something that kind of showed my roots
Right.
and how Australia connects to the United States, because a lot of people think of Australia as being very exotic and far away, you know, kind of like Africa. But we do have country music in Australia, and we have cowboys, and all it is a little bit of a difference in a name. We have jackaroos instead of cowboys. But Australians love their country music, and I wanted to show that the similarities between Australia and America were not that different.
What's the difference between Australian country music and esoteric
Esoteric.
Yeah, somebody told me
Well,
esoteric.
they're usually on
is like-
drugs, aren't they, Herb?
No. Esoteric music from the way out in the outback or something?
No,
No?
esoteric to me means someone who's smoking
Well, all
marijuana.
right.
No, to
the
me,
wrong
no.
terminology then.
Australia has their own kind of traditional music.
Right, the outback
We have
people.
we have outback music. We have a person named Slim Dusty, who I guess would be the George Strait or the Garth Brooks of Australia, and he's about as Australian as country as you could ever get.
Okay,
But he's Australian as a kangaroo.
okay.
But it's the same. It's the same thing. See, country music to me, and I think to most people, is the universal language. So I don't think it matters if you're Australian
No.
or if you're Japanese or European, because it's about people. And I grew up with music that my mum loved, because she loved country music,
Right.
because it talked about everyday people.
It
And
always did.
we
It
wear
always
hats.
did.
We
It
wear
always
hats
did.
like this in
Do you?
Australia too.
Do you?
Oh God, yeah, I wore a hat like that on stage. I opened up for Johnny Cash. I wore a hat just like
You
that,
were
except
15
it was
years old
red.
when you did it. Have you found the Sheerie Austin sound through all the guitars and the mandolins? Do you call that the Sheerie Austin sound that you kind of liked? Where did it evolve from?
I don't know if
Yeah.
there's a Sheerie Austin
Austin sound,
sound,
yeah.
but I do love mandolin, and I love fiddles, and I love guitars, and I love it when you can hear the song and
Right.
it's not always just about the production. I love to be able to tell a story.
You ever hear of Gary Talley?
Yes, he teaches me guitar.
I'm supposed to meet him at the end
Oh,
of the
you
month.
are?
Yeah.
Oh, Gary's the best.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
He's,
looking forward to doing an interview with him at the end
oh,
of the month.
Gary's great. He taught Pam Tillis.
Did he?
Oh, a bunch of others. He's a very good guitar teacher.
He's coming to New Jersey at
He
the end of the
is?
month.
What's he doing here?
He has a seminar going somewhere in about half hour from here, so I was asked to have him on to be part of the TV show.
Well, you'll love Gary.
He's all right.
Oh, no, he's very
Is he
good.
a good singer? Does he
Yeah,
sing?
Gary's good. He's an excellent guitar player.
Is
though.
he?
Oh, yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, he's supposed to play guitar with the camera on, you know. We're supposed to
Oh,
do
he can do that.
He can do
yeah.
that? Okay.
Oh, no, he can do that.
Who has
Yeah.
recorded his? Have you recorded? He's a songwriter or just a guitar player?
He's a guitar player. He was in the Box Tops.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
What's ostentatious lipstick?
Oh,
Read
ostentatious. Okay, that was a lipstick. Well, of course, when you have a song out called Never Been Kissed, the next obvious thing to do is make a lipstick.
There you go.
So we did, and that would have been very fruity and very light and had no meaning at all had we not done something pretty cool with it, which is something that I believe in. And we raised money for the Gilda Radner
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
cancer.
Sure.
And so what we did was we sold the ostentatious lipstick. Ostentatious, we need to look that up in the dictionary.
I think
but I
we-
think it
well-
means out there,
Is it?
something like that. And
I spelled it right.
you did.
I know.
And so we raised some money for the Gilda Radner Cancer Society.
Did the people really say that it's good luck for them?
I had one girlfriend of mine who said she wore it on a job interview and got the job, but she might have just been trying to make me feel good. I don't know.
On your road to Nashville via L.A. from Australia, were
Yeah.
there any dark days of your life where you said, why am I doing this? Or were you pretty much had your focus, your vision, and
How long is this show?
we have a few more minutes.
Well, then we won't get
We'll-
into that.
we'll
But
pass
yes,
that.
I've had my dark
did
days,
you?
but let's not get into that.
Okay.
What else have you got, Herb?
Have your family has been supportive of you right from the beginning?
My family has. Do you know many families that would move halfway
I
around the
know,
world
I
for a
read
little
that.
girl that said she wants to sing country music?
Yep, they moved
Well,
to
that's
LA.
my
They
family.
moved to, they did it. I read that.
Yes.
Stage debut at 15, Jolene.
Uh-huh. I
Dolly
still
Parton.
sing
Do
Jolene
you?
in my set.
Do you sing it in the stage show?
I will sing it tonight.
Of all the places you've played so far, what's your favorite venue? So rodeos, casinos, clubs, honky-tonks, or fairs?
I probably have to say honky tonks.
You like them?
I love the honky tonks. I
Yeah.
love it because the people, they seem to really get into it. They're not afraid to have a little drink. They usually know the words to the songs.
There you go.
And they make me feel like they really want me to be there. So that's lovely. I love to do
You're
that.
pretty much international.
Well, heck, for
Brazil,
crying out loud, I'm
Brazil,
Australian
Brazil.
country singer.
And you've been Brazil,
I've been to Brazil. I've sung country music in Germany.
have you? Okay.
Damn straight.
There you go. Spreading the gospel of country music.
That's what I
That's what
do.
you do, the international chick here.
I'm
Sitting
the
right next to
international
me.
chick singer.
You sky jump?
Oh, you're not even going to ask me about
Pass
that.
it. Okay. You don't want to talk about that experience.
Not
huh?
a good experience.
In other words, you won't do it again, huh?
I will never jump out of a plane at 12,500 feet. Never again.
How about some awards? What kind of awards have you won? CMAs, ACM, CMT videos, and Billboard videos?
Well, I was nominated for an ACM, but I have to tell you that the award that I'm most proud of is the CMT Rising Star Award,
Right.
because CMT has played all my videos and been very supportive of me since I first came out. And they're a great bunch of people and have, like I said, just been behind me the whole time. So I
That's
feel
good.
like I owe them a
That's
great
good.
debt, and I
That's
will
good.
do anything for those people. And GAC, of course, they've been really good to me. So I'm still, my chance will come for the CMAs and the ACMs.
I'm sure. Is there any part of being an artist that you don't like, from writing to performing, production work, riding the bus, or being on the
Being on
road
the
so
road.
much? Any part of it you don't like, or that it's just all pretty much satisfactory?
No, that would be a lie to say that I love it all. I've got my tour manager over here who knows if I would be telling a lie.
You can't
I
tell a
actually,
lie.
I do have a lot of fun on the bus with my boys. We're pretty much, it's like having 5 brothers that I never had and never wanted. But we have a lot of fun. Now, sometimes I get tired, and sometimes you need your space and stuff like that. I'm still a human being, but I try to remember my mum's words, and she says, "Sheerie, don't you start complaining about where you are. I will kick you right up the ass if you start complaining about that. You are very lucky to be able to do what you do, to be able to get up every day and write songs and
That's
sing
right.
and go out and play for people and make people feel good, and they make you feel good. So I don't want to hear any of your crap." That's what my mum says, so that's what I try to remember.
I was going to ask you about the state of
Are
country.
you allowed to say that on video? I'm
You
Australian.
already said it.
We're allowed to
It's already
say.
said.
In Australia, we say stuff like that, okay? Yes, so my mum is she's very earthy and very straightforward about making sure that I remember where I came from.
Exactly. A lot of people don't.
No, and my mum reminds me of it, and anytime I start complaining, she gets on my case.
We're going to wrap the show up another second or so, but do you want to talk about the state of country music of today, or do you want to pass that up?
No, I'll talk about that.
What
I
state
think
of
that
country music is?
I think it's a little bit of a tough time, but I think that it happens. We go through our phases.
Right.
I still believe, and that's why I write songs. That's what I'm most passionate about before anything. I don't care about anything but the song. And I think that even if you're a Garth or a Reba, that it all comes down to a great song, and we have to remember to keep doing that. And sometimes it's tough to do that because we're all trying to figure out what people are going to play and what we think people are going to buy. But it's always the people that take a risk and a chance and sing from the heart or find a song from the heart. The power is in the pen, and I believe that it will always come down to a great song, and that's what makes country music different from every other genre.
Do you think we had better songwriters 25, 30 years ago as today, or do you think
No.
the songwriting ability is still out there today?
I absolutely think that
Right.
Nashville still has
Still
some
got
of the
great
greatest songwriters out there.
Right.
They just need a chance to be heard.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
we're just going through a phase where it's a little tougher for those people to be heard, but it will come back around.
We're going to close the show with a video. What do you want to do? Which one do we do? Here. Never Been Kissed and Put Your Heart, we did. Which one do you want? You pick one of the other three. And
Well,
tell me about
I
it.
would have to say that my personal favorite video would be Never Been Kissed.
We already did that.
Well, you didn't tell me that.
Here it is.
Well, you wrote that on the list, Herb. I'm
Here.
just going by the list. Tell me what you've played.
Never Been Kissed.
All right, you've played Never Been Kissed and Put
we
Your Heart
did
into
Put
it.
Your Heart in.
Then my second favorite video,
Okay. Is?
Little Bird.
Okay. Tell us about it a little bit. Where was it taped? Whose idea was it to do it?
It was taped in LA,
LA.
and
Whose idea?
It was a
concept was it
collaborative-
with the black cat in the cage and
it was
all
a
that?
collaborative effort between me and Morgan
okay.
Lawley, who did the first video, Never Been Kissed.
All right. We're going to wrap up this interview with Sheerie Austin with Little Bird. Thank you very much for being in Southern Country. Appreciate
Well, thank
it.
you, Herb.
It's been a pleasure.
It was very nice talking to you.
When Sheerie Austin's in your neighborhood, check her out because she puts on a great show.